This is how I play the game! Oh my god! What the fuck?
Holy shit! That is an epic fucking intro, dude. And I have to warn everyone. Warning. What you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting. Sound good?
Alright, sounds good to me.
People have asked for Suicide Kings again since the original Red Dead 1, and I tried to do it in Grand Theft Auto Online, it just didn't work. But people have been asking me for, am I going to be doing co-op in Red Dead 2? The answer is yes. That is going to start around the middle of December, and yes, there will be voice chat, but what it'll be is we'll be in a private party, rather than having to put up with all the trolling and shit that you know is going to happen. We'll be in a private party, so that we can talk with each other and communicate while we do co-op missions and Suicide Kings and fun stuff like that. Should be pretty fun, okay? And another announcement, I'm thinking of bringing back Street Fighter V. Ugh. Of course, you know I had to groan when I said that.
I'm hypocritical. Anything for this, right?
You guys really seemed to like when I played Street Fighter V earlier this year, even though most of the time when I played it, it caused me mass frustration and rage. You guys really seem to enjoy watching me play it, and I think I may go back to it for a while, alright? Will I be trying new characters? I don't know. I don't foresee myself, like, for some people were like, well, are you gonna go back to Soul Calibur? Meh. You know, I played it, and I went through the story mode, and I played online a couple sessions that weren't very good, they were laggy as hell, and I just didn't really care about it anymore.
I basically rage quit it.
Alright guys, so one final thing, because we're about to do shoutouts to all of you who've contributed, but there's a very serious topic that I want to address today, and you're going to hear me start talking about this more often on my pre-streams, so you better just get used to it. Ladies and gentlemen, Article 13 is a law that is going to be passed in the European Union next year. Right now, in fact, I think within the next week to 2 weeks, governing bodies in the European Union are going to start having meetings about this upcoming law, proposition, whatever the hell it is. I wish I could have full details on it. I can't because I don't live in the European Union, and honestly, I don't understand how your government works. If you guys do live there, I apologize that I don't understand how the European Union works. I just don't, okay? I don't know how the governing body works or what the criteria are. However, the reason that we're starting a discussion about this right now is because this upcoming thing could be pretty serious. If this ends up passing and being enforced in its current state, both YouTube and Twitch have publicly come out. I got an email from the CEO of Twitch this morning about this. Basically, if you live in the European Union, you will not be able to watch Twitch, and you will not be able to broadcast on Twitch, period. Now, of course, there's gray areas. Oh, well, what if I use a VPN to change my location so it doesn't look like I'm coming out of the European Union or whatever? And, of course, everyone's going to be having these conversations. But in general, if you live in the European Union, say goodbye to Twitch. Oh, by the way, say goodbye to YouTube as well. Why? Because this Article 13, what is it? It's a proposition that if you do not own the full copyright rights to something, you cannot broadcast it on the internet. Alright? Now, just to clarify, you might say, well, what about video games, Let's Plays, and streams and stuff? I thought that they were legal. Well, technically, it's never been determined if they're legal. Alright? It's just assumed that under what's considered fair use law, that when you're playing a video game and giving live commentary over it, you're creating what's considered a transformative work that is then protected under copyright law and becomes your legal property, okay? But no one has ever, in the history of this being done, taken it to court. And I've done it for 10 years, and no one's ever taken it to court, okay? No one. So because of that, it's not legal or illegal, it just is a gray area that's never been hashed out anywhere. And what this Article 13 is saying is, well, if you don't legally 100% have permission to do something, you can't do it on the internet anymore. So what Twitch and YouTube are saying is, well, we can't take legal liability because this law will say these websites, these businesses will have legal liability in the European Union for that. So basically, anyone who's in the European Union will not be able to make YouTube videos, will not be able to stream on Twitch. It'll be blacklisted.
Oh my god!
You'll not be able to go there. It'll just be, sorry, you live in the European Union, this is blacklisted per your laws. Just think how dumb that is. I mean, that's insanely stupid, right? So, in general, I couldn't tell you what you can do. I'm assuming you can contact your lawmakers. You can put up a stink. If you guys remember, back in the day, when I was white hot popular on YouTube, and we had laws like this that were going to pass in the United States, like, it was like S.978 or something stupid.
I spoke up and made a video on YouTube that went viral and got 600,000 views. There were other people who spoke up and got millions of views. Views. I don't want to be Mr. Views.
And we got a public opinion stirring in the United States about this, and within 2 months, the entire thing was dropped. our government said, all right, we're not going to do this shit anymore. This makes no sense. And the entire thing was dropped. Maybe you guys can do that too. Sorry that I don't have the power to really do much influence in the European Union. I don't. I wouldn't even know where to begin. But you guys definitely need to start talking about this, because if this goes through as is, you're talking about the end of YouTube and Twitch for European Union viewers. I'm serious. Like, this is not a joke or an exaggeration. YouTube and Twitch have both publicly come out and said, we cannot take the legal liability. We're just turning our services off in the European Union, and it sucks that people's livelihood are at stake. I mean, I'll face it. Let's be honest here, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are watching my stream right now, how many of you live in the European Union? Okay? How many of you live in the European Union? I'm curious. If you live in the European Union, say it in my stream chat right now. Okay? Because I'm willing to bet a ton of you do. Okay? I'm willing to bet a ton of you live in the European Union and don't even realize you're going to be affected by this. Okay? Look at this. Frequent attendees of the stream are now saying, you know, here we go. I live in the UK. Yes, I do. So there you go. A lot of people who are stream regulars are telling me they live in the European Union. And the bottom line is, you might say, if you could be a foolish person like King Kozatov and say you're overreacting.
It's gross. It's for this. It's not because they love what they're doing. It's not because for the love of the game or because they're true gamers. It's for this. And this is what it's become. It's not about putting out a quality review. It's not about putting out a quality playthrough or quality stream. It's about making this.
If I were overreacting, then why did both YouTube and Twitch come out publicly and ask their users to speak out about this? Why am I overreacting? I think Kozatov this is the problem. You got people like Kozatov who are not paying attention to the actual issues and saying, that's not going to affect anything. It's not a big deal. Just ignore it. It's not going to matter. Don't worry.
And that's how shit falls apart. When you know something's coming up that could screw things up and you don't speak out and you don't take action because you just want to be lazy, that's when things fall apart. That's like me, right? That's like me.
Okay, everybody? So, please speak out against it, alright? Do whatever you can. Let's make sure that this thing doesn't pass. Whatever you can do. Article 13 is back, alright? Okay. Orcs or Dorks did a 100-bit cheer. He says, do you mind if I friends you on PlayStation? Well, Orcs or Dorks, FYI, I really don't take friends list seriously on consoles or anything. The only time I really ever add someone to my friends list, either on Xbox Live or PlayStation Network, is if we're going to be doing co-op in a game together. Then I'll do it. But outside of that, I almost never add anybody. It's something I don't touch, I don't bother with. When I used to have an open friends list, I would get ridiculous, like, I'm not even kidding, hundreds of requests in a week sometimes. So I just don't do it anymore. So chances are, Orcs or Dorks, if we're going to plan on doing some kind of co-op in the future, I'd be sure to add you, but I just don't take open requests, okay? Okay, shout out to Necro No. He cheered. He said, Indies Marathon on Thursday. Are you going to check out the Game Awards show? No, I am not. The Game Awards, in my opinion, are a waste of time. They're basically, number one, paid-for advertisements, because half the show is just fucking promotion for games and new games. Number two, it's voted on by journalists who apparently think that Fortnite came out in 2018 since it got nominated for so much shit, even though it's a game from last year. So, I don't give a fuck about the Game Awards. I don't give a fuck about the Golden Joysticks. I don't give a fuck about any of that stuff. Just like I don't care about the Oscars. It's all just garbage. It's garbage content. It's paid-for advertisement. It's fluff, and it doesn't mean anything. And I said this on Twitter, and I'll say it here on stream today. There is no Game of the Year. What you have is a series of opinions. There is no official Game of the Year. It doesn't matter what the Game Awards say, the Golden Joysticks say, what someone on YouTube's countdown says, what my own countdown says. There is no official Game of the Year. Whatever you like, you like. Don't fall for the hype of these countdowns, alright? Even though some of them are nice to do, and yeah, it's a tradition that I do my own Game of the Year awards, I would never say, oh, this is the official Game of the Year, and if you disagree, you're wrong. There is no official authority to determine Game of the Year, therefore, you should not buy into that crap, okay?
Why am I toxic? More toxic, more toxic. Yep, I'm toxic.
Cam, not the comedy man, did a 100-bit cheer. He says, Phil, I know you don't like Fortnite, that's cool, but do you agree with Ninja when he calls out the parents of these kids who become addicted to Fortnite? Let me put it this way. I have no idea what Ninja said, so I cannot tell you anything if I agree with his perspective or not. I can tell you my perspective. If your kid's addicted to Fortnite, it is a failure of the parent. Alright? It's true. Because I was reading an article the other day saying, oh, some kids play Fortnite up to 12 hours a day. I was like, what the fuck? Let me give you an idea of what my life was like when I was a kid, okay? Woke up in the morning early. I was tired as fuck. Got up, washed up, went downstairs. My mom made me breakfast, which was very nice because a lot of kids don't have parents at home to make them breakfast anymore in the mornings. And then I was driven to school. where I stood in the schoolyard, froze my nuts off for about 25 minutes until they let us into the school. I was in school from about, I want to say around 8 a.m. till probably about 2, 3 p.m. My mom would come pick me up after school, or I would take the bus home, depending on, how old I was. I would come home from school. I would immediately get to watch about, I would say, roughly an hour of television. I was allowed, as an instant relaxation, to watch about an hour of television when I got home from school. Then it was dinner time. I'd have dinner with my family. Sometimes my dad would be home, sometimes he didn't, because sometimes he worked different shifts. Then immediately after dinner, brush the teeth, time for homework. Doing your homework for about 1 to 2 hours a night. At that point, it's probably already almost 8 p.m., in which case I would probably either do a little bit of video gaming, or I would watch some stuff, primetime television with my parents. I remember watching famous comedies like TGIF. They used to have these blocks of comedies and stuff that I would watch. Maybe an hour or two of television with my parents, and then I would go to sleep. And that was my life when I was a kid, okay? During the summertime, of course, there was much more free time. And during the summertime, I would do things like go out and play with friends, go to the video arcade and play video games, and the like. And yes, I would spend a lot of time maybe at home playing console games as well. Where in the holy hell a child has 12 fucking hours to play Fortnite during a day? I have no idea. Like, something's gone wrong here. Something is gone amiss. Does this child even go to school? Like, where is this happening that you're telling me there are these teens and preteens playing Fortnite for 12 hours a day? Like, how is there enough time in the fucking day if they're actually doing what they're obligated to do? Like, I'm just lost how this is even possible, alright? Now, the bottom line is, this is the true, reality of the situation is that, sadly, ladies and gentlemen, we have many children in 2018 whose parents are irresponsible. They wanted to do the deed, but then when they had the kid, they didn't want to actually have the responsibility of being a parent. So instead of actually taking on that responsibility and doing their job parenting, they throw the kid in front of a device and say, here, occupy yourself with this while I go have my own life, right? So I'm not surprised to hear that kids are just playing Fortnite so much it's become this viral fucking fad, okay? I'm not fucking surprised to hear about this at all, alright? But that being said, it is the parent's job to make sure that a kid has a enriched and fulfilled and variety of life. The kid can't do that. The kid doesn't know any better. The parent has to guide the child. And so, if a kid is addicted to a fucking video game...
Yeah, it's the parent's fault. I went to a comic book store one day with my parents, and the Wolverine figure was there. And I turned to my mother and father, and I said, guys, listen. I want that action figure for my birthday. So, please, what I would ask you, I've never asked you to do this before. We know how rare that figure is. We know we've been to stores endlessly and we've never seen it in the flesh. It's finally here in front of our faces. Please buy the figure now. Hide it from me for months until my birthday, and give it to me on my birthday. And so, like, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks in a row, they still didn't buy it, right? Week 4, we go back. It's gone. So my birthday came and passed, and guess what? My parents go, we're very sorry, Philip, but we couldn't find the action figure. I said, I told you to buy the figure. Why don't you listen to me? Like, it was such a no-brainer. All they had to do was buy it then. They could have hidden it forever. I would have never bugged them for it till my birthday. I knew I was going to get it on my birthday. Because they didn't buy it, I didn't get it. I did eventually get it, but it was the second run. And, of course, now it's a year later. Do you really think that something I wanted a year ago is as valuable as, But then I was already starting to move into other stuff. And, yes, I see someone asking in the chat. Yes, my parents did have the money to buy it. They were just fucking stupid. They should have been supervising what their kid was doing and making sure that there was a variety of healthy activities that child was doing so that they didn't become fucking addicted to something. It's very simple. You shouldn't let your kid just do whatever the fuck they want so you can go do whatever the fuck you want. But the second that kid was born, it was your responsibility to raise that human. And that's your fault for having the kid. If you shouldn't have had the kid if you didn't want to take on the responsibility of being the responsible parent.
Yeah, I'm a gamer! And this is the reality of 2018, is that we have too many people who are basically kids having kids, rather than people saying, okay, time to fucking actually, make my life a serious life now, and now I have to fucking actually have a kid, who's gonna actually be responsible. Because why do you think You hear so many stories about people losing their minds and doing crazy shit, probably because they didn't have a good raising. You know, and I hate to say that. I sound like an old fart. I know I do. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of the issues that come with mental health, that come with,
You know, back in high school, I was on a cocktail of medications. I mean, real talk, when I was in high school at one point, I was to the point where I was losing it. I wanted to either go do something drastic or, you know, go nuts. There was a girl who I was like obsessed with for a while. There's still this back here. And it's still in the back of my neck, the back of my head, the back of my mind. And it's always telling me that I'm a bad person. It's telling me that I don't deserve any success. It's telling me that I'm ugly. It's telling me that I'm fat. It's telling me that I'm gross. It's telling me that I'm not funny, that I'm worthless, that I'm a sellout, that I'm a shill, that I'm a piece of crap, that I don't deserve any kind of positivity. I don't deserve my girlfriend. I don't deserve the love of my parents. I don't deserve to live. And it's there. And it never fucking goes away. Some people say, I'll just go on pills. That's not the solution either. Pills help. Don't get me wrong. You know, pills absolutely help, but they don't cure these kind of issues. They just help to mitigate and help to keep it under wraps. You know, like I said, like sometimes it's the guy in the shoulder, like I mentioned. So maybe that guy in the shoulder goes away for a couple days, but he's going to come back, but at least he's gone for a couple days, right? That was my depression. Sorry for fucking what? I did nothing wrong. I did everything correct. Just all kinds of things is because of the parent did not raise that child. And the child basically was raising themselves on the internet. Okay? You can't do that. So all that being said, I have to agree. If a kid is addicted to fucking Fortnite or any other video game or anything like that, it's the parent's fault.
all right? At the very same time, you know, I have no idea what Ninja said, so I'm not going to say I agree or disagree with him, but you have to understand that it has been the viral popularity of personalities like Ninja that have led to this addiction, okay?
Wow. I mean, I'll be honest, just like any other normal human, yes, am I jealous of certain people and of people who are successful and whatever? Of course I am. Of course I'm going to have jealousy. That's a natural human emotion for those who have more than you. You're always going to have that natural kind of jealousy of those who maybe have, been more successful or things like that.
Here's a guy, he's on stream, he dyes his fucking hair a cartoonish color, he looks like a Muppet. He dances around on webcam when he plays, and he overreacts. And, yes, I am kind of talking about PewDiePie and those other people who basically found this niche. Oh, if I act like a cartoon character on stream, I can get views from the kiddies. And even though those kiddies have no money, I'm going to still get tons of new views and advertisement revenues, and people will be contributing to my streams and videos on YouTube, and I'll become a filthy rich motherfucker.
Oh, my God. That was great. Oh, my God. I can't stop laughing. So that's what it is. It's an element of jealousy. Do you show your toxic jealousy and just how petty you fucking are when you react to something like that?
Forget the fact that that is degrading things like Twitch, things like YouTube. Alright, it does. It degrades it down to a garbage level. And sadly, that's what happens with all these businesses. You have lowbrow content, low-quality content that is now catered towards the mindless masses, the people who just jump on and watch something because it's virally popular. Things like, PewDiePie, Markiplier.
I cannot put the blame on PewDiePie. I would not do that. Very, very, very hypocritical.
Ninja, that's attractive to a younger audience, and they know that. And that's why they cater their content to a younger audience. So I agree with Ninja if what he's saying is it's the parents' fault. At the same time, he can't be completely 100% immune for blame because he's one of the things that's creating that whole atmosphere of become addicted in the first place. I am a cartoon character. I acted up to try to bring in little kids to watch my shit so I can be rich. Okay? So there you go.
Toxify it. I took anger management classes. It wasn't actually a joke. That's why I haven't been negative. And then you people, Phil's a toxic streamer. No, you try to make me look like that.
Alright, shout out to Crazy Dream. He cheered. He said you can bypass Article 13 by getting a VPN, pay no more than $250 per month. Yes and no, Crazy Dream. If you're a viewer, you're right. If you want to still watch Twitch, if you can just say you're from a different country and use a VPN to change your viewing country, maybe you'll still be able to watch Twitch, no problem. However, there's many other factors involved, including, what about people who, like me, rely on cheering and subbing and the like to make a living? What if you're in a VPN, can you even still get those things through Amazon? You know what I mean? Or would you be forced to now contribute, let's say, via Patreon or tipping instead? Because you can't use those Amazon-approved methods because they actually detect what country you're from, right? Depending on how you're paying, right? What about content creators in the European Union? They have to file for taxes. And when they file for taxes, Twitch will know legally where they are. And therefore, if they live in the European Union, even though, you know, up front, maybe they can be okay then if they're like, oh, well, guess what? We found out you live in the European Union. You can't do this anymore. You're banned, right? There's a lot of issues. Even though you can say, oh, the VPN is the easy issue around Article 13, it's really not. Article 13 is going to create a ridiculous amount of problems for people worldwide if it does pass. Okay? Just being honest here.
I need that money. I really do. I need that money to pay my bills.
All right. The only cheer we got so far tonight is Freddie Bosley, who asked, how long is the 16K fundraiser lasting for? First of all,
there's no 16K fundraiser. That doesn't exist.
What? Wait, what?
What? What? There's no such thing as a 16K fundraiser, okay? What's happening is I need some financial help to try to pay as many of my taxes that are going to be due in April as possible.
I don't even know if 16K is correct. That was an estimate based off of the initial estimations of my income for this year. It could be more, it could be less. It's probably going to be more, I'll be honest with you. There's no fundraiser drive that I'm doing. What I will be doing is normal events that normally I would have been doing. But what I will be doing is setting up goals for each event to help out, alright? So maybe you're going to see a tips goal or whatever on the top of the stream for certain events coming up. The first of such event will be this Indies Marathon on Thursday, as well as the other 3 holiday events I just mentioned, okay? So, I will be talking more about this as we get closer to it, but there is no ongoing fundraiser total or anything like that. It's basically going to just be me doing special events and hoping to raise some funds to help during those events, period. Okay?
I loathe begging. I may be living month to month, paycheck to paycheck, begging for fucking tips and shit on stream for the rest of my life.
Freddie Ballsy cheered again. He says, people have told me they think 50 bits is too steep. Well, that's too bad. That's too bad. When we had it as 25 bits, we had non-stop spamming negative cheers, and we couldn't take it anymore. The mods have thanked me tremendously since I upped the bits limit. That it makes it so much easier for them to not have to worry about, you know, twice as much trolling. So it's staying the way it is.
Oh no! What a greedy bastard.
Android, no, the bit limit is staying how it is, man. It's staying at 50. It has to. Android, you must not have been here. You seriously must not have been here. But I'd say for almost 2 weeks, there was this, like, 2 or 3 people who just constantly were making new names and cheering, insulting things, like, every minute. It was insane. We would start the stream, and it was like, here comes an insult, here comes an insult, okay, ban those people. Here comes an insult, here comes an insult. Like, what the fuck? It was out of control.
I'm just going to ban.
To the point where we're like, dude, this is nuts. What do we do? And that's why we had to kind of put our heads together and decided to up the bit limit. It's not going back.
So fucking greedy. No, press down B says if you got that many troll cheers, you'd be happy. No, I'm not, because they were quarters. You see what I mean? 25 bits? Sorry, I don't need your quarters. You think I'm the villain? Go fuck yourself.
And you see 100 of them, and it's like, this doesn't... for the amount of disruption that it causes on the stream, it's not worth it. It's not. This is equivalent to when I first started with the whole bit system. We had people doing 5-bit cheers that were all nonsense, you know? And we had to immediately up it to 25, because there was no way. Within like 2 days, it was out of control in here.
Alright, Israel Gang is obviously a troll, and I've had enough of him. Get rid of him. Get the fuck out of here. Wasting everybody's time. Ban. Well, Akuma Blade just did a 50-bit cheer. Says, I won't be scared of trolls knowing I give you money. I donated 20,000 Canadian dollars to your Patreon. So pay your taxes, take Kat on a nice vacation, and get her something nice for Christmas. It's a nice cheer. I doubt there's any truth to it at all. I'm just saying. And obviously I'll let you guys know later. Right now I'm deleting all my old messages here. Yup, and he says, joke, DSP get a job. Of course. We knew it was fake. Ah, the salty tears. Salty tears. We knew it was fucking fake. I mean, come on. I'm good at lying. Yes, I'm sure I donated 20,000 Canadian dollars. Okay. No, the truth of the matter is that if someone actually wanted to be nice and donate a lot of money, I know they would contact me and talk to me about it, and we do it the right way, you know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't just be someone that's like, oh, you know, on stream, oh, I don't know how to do it. Should I, can you tell me on stream how to do this? It wouldn't be like that. You see what I mean? Like, if someone really cared and was like, oh, I really want to help out Phil, they'd probably write me an email or, you know, tweet me and say, let's have a private conversation about this. Not on stream, start all of a sudden, oh yeah, I want to help you and send you ginormous amounts of money. Yeah, right. I really don't believe that would happen. You know, last year we had a few people who did some pretty big donations during my Christmas events last year, and that was very nice. And they got shout-outs during the streams. This kind of shit needs to come out. This kind of shit needs to be exposed for what it is. It's greed. It's greed. Greed is massively strong. I have no fucking self-control. What pasta do you prefer? I prefer a penne. Oh! Easy to eat. Oh! Phil's a faggot. Phil's fat. Phil's a loser. Phil's a beggar. Phil's a racist. Phil's a scammer. DSP's a pedophile. DSP is a thief. DSP is a greedy fuck.
This guy's a bitch.
I have a micro penis. Alright, I'm not dead, but I swear to God I wish I fucking was.